Speaking of the recent COVID vaccine, a netizen commented, "To be fair, if only 1 or 2 cases of death occurred after being vaccinated, it's not a big problem. It would be understandable given the vaccine's potential negative influence and the difference in individual conditions. But the key issue is the entire process of experimentation is not at all transparent, and the true vaccination success rate is not known to the public. That's why I'm hesitant to give it a try." Someone shared that the World Health Organization recently announced that it will send a team of investigators to China to study the origins of COVID-19. And this is already a year after COVID broke in Wuhan, China. Netizens felt that this is not at all a serious attempt to really find out the origin of COVID, but instead, they are just taking a taxpayer-funded trip to China. And by the way, Biden has already announced that his administration will rejoin the WHO after he took office. Someone shared that recently the WHO chief was accused of aiding genocide in Ethiopia by an American economist who was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. According to the Daily Mail and the Times, American economist David Steinman accused the WHO chief of being one of the 3 officials who directed Ethiopia's security forces from 2013 to 2015, during which the killing and torturing of Ethiopians took place. Steinman was the 2019 Nobel Peace Prize nominee. He lodged a complaint calling for Tedros to be prosecuted for genocide at the International Criminal Court in The Hague. He claimed that Tedros was a crucial decision-maker in relation to security service actions that included killing, arbitrarily detaining, and torturing Ethiopians. Steinman also alleged that the WHO chief oversaw the killing and causing serious bodily and mental harm to members of a few tribes with the intent to destroy those tribes in whole or in part. He also claimed that while Tedros co-led Ethiopia's government for 4 years, the regime was marked by widespread or systematic crimes against humanity by subordinates. Also, according to the Daily Mail, in the filed complaint, Steinman referenced a 2016 U.S. government report on human rights in Ethiopia that found the civilian authorities at times did not maintain control over the security forces, and local police in rural areas and local militias sometimes acted independently. Steinman is a former consulting expert to the U.S. National Security Council. He accused Tedros of being involved in the intimidation of opposition candidates and supporters, which included arbitrary arrest and lengthy pre-trial detention. The article also noted that it would be the first prosecution of a senior UN figure if it does proceed to the Hague Court, which can only happen if it is adopted by the prosecutors. In the meantime, Tedros has denied all the allegations and any wrongdoing. Someone shared this video clip from a Chinese drama which features a conversation regarding the belief in communism.
你骗了我们这么多年，为什么？你连自己的同事都杀害，竟干那些令人发指的事情，这就是信仰吗？啊？马克思所有的承诺，你共产党根本就做不到。你看看斯大林就知道了。在不久的将来，会有一个新政府，没有皇帝，没有权贵，没有剥削和压迫。 不会丧权辱国，让人民能够有尊严的生活。新政府不会奴役人民，幼稚，10000年你们也做不到。你是看不到那一天的，你能看到吗？你更看不到。
Someone replied, "All of what he said are mere dreams and aspirations." While in reality, what the Communist Party has done contradicted them all. This is one of the most common tactics used by the Communist Party to deceive the people. Unfortunately, the Communist Party will never fulfill its promises. In the case of the CCP, with help from the free world and by taking advantage of the force of economic globalization, its power has been greatly strengthened and has been seeking to expand its influence and infiltrate all aspects of Western societies. One major consequence of this all is that at the present, many Western countries are still not clear-headed about the threat that the CCP poses. The CCP has been legendizing itself and changing history to solidify its regime. This is one of the major characteristics of a cult. The CCP claimed to serve the Chinese people, but in reality, it has been enslaving them. Someone shared a few video clips from a recent pro-Trump rally.
President Trump walked in and walked over to the buffet and started talking to the guy behind the buffet. And he looks at him, he's talking football, baseball, everything like that. And then he turned to the donors in the room and said, "Sorry I missed you, I'll see you later." That's the type of president that we have. He doesn't care about the money. He doesn't care about special interests. What he cares about is the American people and doing what is right for this great nation that he knows.
劳伦斯还说，现在的民主党是共产主义者，不能代表美国。
These Democrats are communists. They don't represent America. They don't represent me. And Joe Biden is not the president of the United States. Nor will he ever be.
I was born in the Soviet Union. I had family that lived through communism, through Marxism. I grew up with it my entire life, knowing how evil it is and how scary it is and how dangerous it is. And so we're here holding the line, making sure that this country does not give up, that this country will not back down to these giants of corruption, fraud, socialism, communism. It's not going to happen in this country.
Well, I think he's fighting against the socialism or communist ideology now. It has gone so far. The Democrat Party that I was raised knowing is not the Democrat Party that we're seeing right now. So he is literally fighting against a socialist/communist ideology. What we have now is capitalism versus communism. That's what he's fighting, and that's a big giant.
Someone replied, "It doesn't matter if President Trump gets a second term or not. The world has already entered the Trump era." Someone recalled a video clip showing President Trump shaking every single graduate's hand at the 2019 U.S. Air Force Academy's graduation ceremony. Someone replied, "As a 75-year-old elderly man, President Trump stood for a few hours, saluting a few hundred times, shaking nearly 1,000 hands, despite knowing that he did not have to do so. His entire family earned $4 during his 4 years in office. He also made billions of donations to the country. Those who do not have faith or spiritual belief would not be able to understand these all."
Child, we will bring you home. You'll be a flower that sees the spring. Soon a dove flying high.